What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Guns and Tactics. My name is Rex, and today we're going to be talking about how to stop the bleed with tourniquets and pressure dressings. Before we start the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the lower right corner of your screen. Make sure you karate chop that like button and hit that little bell button so you get notified every time we drop a video. And joining me today is my buddy Raleigh, Special Operations Medic.
Hey, and we're going to show you how to do it the right way.
Ready? Let's do it. Hey, where you going? Massive hemorrhage has been the leading cause of death in combat zones. In light of recent events, protests have been increasingly more violent, in some situations impeding EMS from accessing victims.
We're here to offer you a little bit of advice so you don't end up like this guy.
So here are 3 different options readily available for you right now. North American Rescue's Cat Tourniquet Gen 7
And TacMed Solutions SOF T wide.
and the SWAT-T Stretch, Wrap, and Tuck Tourniquet.
So the first thing you want to do is make sure the scene is safe.
Cat Tourniquet.
Now that we've established that the scene is safe, we're going to apply the tourniquet. Here we have North American Rescue's Gen 7 Cat Tourniquet. The biggest difference between the Generation 7 combat application tourniquet and the previous generations is that it utilizes a single eyelet design. Since we've already deemed that the tourniquet's necessary for maybe a stab wound or a gunshot wound, you want to get high and tight as possible to the extremity. Now pull all the slack out of the tourniquet through that single eyelet buckle, securing it against the Velcro itself. Twist the windlass until bright red bleeding stops, and secure the windlass with the windlass clips. Pull over the tab, write the time down for the medics. So I had mentioned the update with the Generation 7 Cat Tourniquet is it's a single buckle design. Whereas previous generations for lower extremities, there's a double buckle design where you want to loop it through both eyelets. Now there's a single eyelet, simplifying it and make it quicker to use.
SOF T wide.
Now TacMed Solutions is another company that's been around for a while with their SOF-T. With their latest iteration makes it even simpler to use. With that D-ring hooking onto the hook, same thing as before, twist it until bright red bleeding stops, and it's not completely secure until the windlass is under the clip. Same story goes for the lower extremity, and the nice thing about the SOF-T is that you don't have to needle the leg through the hole as you would with a cat tourniquet. This, you're able to loop the tourniquet around, hook the D-ring, and tighten it, stop the bleed.
SWAT-T.
Now the SWAT-T may not be the best option, but it is still an option. Very low profile, small, compact tourniquet that you're able to store anywhere pretty easily. The idea is that you want to get those little diamonds to look like squares when it's tight enough. That's the indicator that the tourniquet is in its most effective state. This wouldn't be my go-to tourniquet, but if I didn't have anything else, this definitely will help.
It's under tight.
So for all the parts you can put a tourniquet on,
We're going to apply a pressure dressing. So for the injuries that you can't tourniquet, you're going to go ahead and apply a pressure dressing. So you isolate the wound, you realize, you made an attempt to put a tourniquet on, you realize the injury is up in his armpit and you can't put a tourniquet, it's not going to stay. So you get your hand on it, start off with hemostatic dressing, you grab it, you ball up a little bit, you find the hole, you shove it in there, and you stuff all of it in there. Once you've gotten everything in that hole, you're going to go ahead back it up with some gauze. You need a good, nice, tight power ball. And if there's an exit wound on the backside, you're doing the same thing on the other side before you apply the final dressing. So all of this, you're going to find a way to make it all stuff inside. For the purposes of the time, we're going to simulate that it's all been shoved in there. Once you're there, you're going to go ahead and apply stretch bandage, ace wrap, or whatever you can find. You start out with a small part of the anatomy. You basically wrap until all the white is covered up. So what you want to do is make sure you get a good hold of your bandage, because what happens is if this somehow unravels, go ahead and take this a split second and roll it back up, because you want this mechanical advantage by pulling all the slack out. Feel that, right?
Oh yeah.
If you need to anchor it down, you never go around the neck per se, but what you're doing is you're going around the shoulder and anchoring it down. Not covering this part of his throat. And that's going to anchor it down. That's how you wrap an upper extremity with the pressure dressing. Finish it off if you need to. Go ahead and put his arm down. Is that tight? So in the lower extremity, if you can't use a tourniquet like high up on his groin area, you're going to apply pressure dressing a slightly different way from the upper extremity. So first I'd get my hand on it. I wouldn't smash all my weight on it, but I'd apply a little bit of a pressure just right here in the inguinal fold. I'd get my stuff ready. If the hole was right here, just anticipate an exit wound, so be prepared to do this on the back side. I'd get my hemostatic dressing. I find the hole. I'd shove this inside the hole. I'd get my gauze, do the same thing. Get a power ball going, shove it in the hole. Once you get it all in there, again, this is a little simulated, so it's going to slip inside a little bit, but inside, this would be inside the wound cavity. And if you're worried about, you do your best to be clean, but it's already dirty. What you need to do is stop this bleed. Start out from the bottom. Make sure you covered up all the white. If you have to anchor it, you can anchor it up here using his belt. And you just tuck in the rest. Is that tight?
Yeah. Now that you got the bleeding under control, make sure you get to a hospital.
And before you do any hero stuff, make sure you get some training.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. Share it to your friends. If you enjoyed this video, if we have any comments, if you want to see more like this, make sure to leave a comment down below. Make sure you're following me at Mr. Pew Life. Make sure you're following the channel at Guns and Tactics on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you're following this guy,
TacMed Solutions,
on Instagram. Anything else to say? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
We work really hard to make content that we hope you as a shooter would enjoy. Subscribe to our channel, check out our featured videos and playlists, and if you have a question firearms related, go ahead and send an email to the address shown on the screen to be entered into our monthly QA series.